Again, defensively for Florida. Lindsey Cameron in left, Lacey Howard in center, Shelly Stevens in right. Infield from third to first, Stacy Pestrak, Lauren Roussel, Lindsay Northfleet, Melissa Zick, Kristen Butler behind home plate, and Stacy Stevens inside the circle. The win today on an overcast day here, very warm day at the Florida Gators Softball Complex in beautiful Gainesville, Florida. Wind blowing straight out pretty hard towards center field, maybe shifting a little bit towards right center. Dimensions here at the Florida Softball Complex, 200 down the lines, 220 to dead center field, as DJ mentioned earlier. Florida in the home white sleeveless jerseys, white vest, blue undershirts, white pants, pinstripes with blue socks. Bethune Cookman in the two-tone tops, maroon tops, black torsos, black shorts, maroon stripes on the side. DJ Driscoll, we're ready for softball, and I'll kick things over to you for the first pitch between the Florida Gators and the Bethune-Cookman Lady Wildcats.
Well, Stacy Stevens, throws her last warm-up pitch as Kristen Butler fires it down to second base. The entire Florida Gator infield will huddle inside the circle. And the intimidating presence of Amber Jackson stepping in to the left-handed batter's box. Jackson wears number 33. She's a junior from California. There's 10 players on the Cookman roster from the state of California. As you mentioned, Brian, the wind is blowing out some dark skies up in right center field, but it looks like the wind might be blowing those dark clouds away. Hopefully we'll have a great afternoon for softball. Jackson ready, Stevens ready. Here's the opening pitch of the NCAA tournament for the Florida Gators, and it's a strike on the outside corner. Amber Jackson was 1 for 3. She scored a run in the game between these two teams earlier this season. Stevens ready. Here comes the 0-1. It's a changeup. Jackson quick swing at it, and it gets the outside corner. 0-2. A great start right there for Stacy Stevens.
As we mentioned earlier, Jackson only a junior, yet she has won the MEAC Player of the Year award all 3 years she's been there. An .831 career slugging percentage with 34 career home runs.
She's the catalyst for this offense. The 0-2 outside pitch hammered into left field for a single by Jackson. And the ball's going to get away. Cameron tried to fire it to Zick at first, and Jackson's going to be able to get to second base. That's something Florida will do often, throw behind runners. Zick couldn't pick it up out of the dirt. And after getting ahead of Jackson 0-2, it looked like a waste pitch. It was high and out of the zone, Brian, but Jackson just sticks her bat out there and pokes it in the left field.
Well, great hitters will find their way on board, and that's the case right there. Jackson mentioned goes out of the zone, just tries to put the bat on protecting home plate. She did it, got it into left field for a base hit. And Florida continues where they left off in the Southeastern Conference Tournament. Already in there, this one charged to Lindsey Cameron.
So a single, and Jackson advances to second on the throwing error by Cameron. In steps Tiffany Bowser, hitting .321 on the season. First pitch she bunts this, it's going to go foul. Zick will field it there. So it'll be 0-1 when Bowser returns to the box. She has 3 home runs on the year, has driven in 31 runs.
You wouldn't expect a stolen base attempt this early, especially going from second to third, but Amber Jackson's only been caught stealing 4 times in her career.
Bowser did the damage in the first game between these two, going 2 for 2, scoring 2 runs and driving in 1. She is a MEAC first teamer, as is the entire Bethune Cookman infield. Second pitch, this one's bunted fair. Zick backhands it, she'll turn and fire it. Northfleet is covering first base. So the Gators will get an out, but Amber Jackson does advance to third on the sacrifice by Tiffany Bowser.
Third baseman number 22, Drea Thomas.
And Drea Thomas steps in now. She's playing third today. Where's number 22? Another lefty. On the year, she's hitting .385 at second on the Bethune Cookman squad. She leads the team with 18 doubles, has not gone yard, but does have 44 runs driven in. Stevens ready. Here's the first pitch. Swung on and missed. Thomas chased that one high and out of the zone for strike 1.
Kristen Butler going to go out and talk to Stacy Stevens. Situation, you can get girls like Andrea Thomas to go out of the zone. Keep trying.
Absolutely. Chris Neighbors behind the plate. In blue, Lori Bish will be your first base umpire today, and Doug Zimmerman at third base. Thomas was 2 for 3 in the first game. The run scored and 2 runs batted in. Here's the 0-1. That's a changeup from Stevens. Misses low and outside. Andy Sherman warming up, staying loose in that Gator bullpen down the left field line. And this is the pregame show with South Florida beating Central Florida 14-3 in the opening game of this NCAA region. The winner of this game will play South Florida tomorrow. Everyone's ready. Here's the 1-1. Thomas, that's a strike on the outside corner. So early on, Brian, it looks like Stacy is finding her spots.
Now she's been going away from these left-handed hitters. Amber Jackson came back to take one of those outside pitches out to left field for a base hit. Something to keep an eye on here. Andrea Thomas, 11 strikeouts and 192 at-bats. She's a tough customer to get the K on.
The 1-2, it's outside again. Called third strike. There's the first strikeout of the game for Stevens, and that's a huge second out with a runner on third base.
Stevens again, all 3 pitches that were strikes to Andrea Thomas hit the outside corner. We'll see if Thomas will adjust next time up. If not, Stacey Stevens look for her to continue to work on that black near the right-handed batter's box.
Sarday Stewart steps in. She wears number 25. First pitch to her. Outside again, called strike. So Stevens really painting the black on the outside corner to both lefties and righties. Sarday Stewart will try to drive in her sister, Amber Jackson, who stands at third base. There's 2 outs in the top of the first inning. The 0-1 pitch to Stewart misses. No, it hits the outside corner, 0-2, and Stacey Stevens on a roll. Throwing strike after strike in the early going.
This would be a big confidence boost for the Florida Gators after giving up that first hit, and then the air. We're not scoring position, nobody out, get a K here, it's huge.
Stewart squares around to bunt, pulls back, that ball misses outside. It'll be 1-2. Stevens trying to get Stewart to chase there, she wouldn't.
It's not a bad waste pitch there, 0-2.
Again, Stewart squares around to bunt. She'll pull it back with the pitch, the 1-2. Stevens went inside there, but it misses low, 2-2 now. Stewart was 1 for 2 with a run driven in the regular season meeting between Florida and Bethune Cookman. The 2-2 with 2 outs, chopped foul to the right side. Kristen Butler, a nice hustle, chasing that one down. Very hot day in Gainesville. That breeze has got to help the players down on the field. So when everyone's ready, we will do the 2-2 one more time. Again, Stewart squaring around to bunt. She'll pull back, choking up, drive this one into left field for a single past the diving glove of Lauren Roussel. The Bethune Cookman Wildcats strike first. Clutch 2-out RBI single by Sarday Stewart.
And the catcher number 15, Rachel Kilbert.
Brings in Rachel Kilbert. Catching today for Bethune Cookman. On the year, she's hitting .323, giving in 29 runs. 376 slugging percentage. Kristen Butler's going to call time. Infield will gather in the circle, talking to Stacy, trying to calm her down. Important thing now, keep it to 1 run.
Absolutely.
You saw LSU score 6 runs with 2 outs in the 5th inning in that elimination game for Florida in the SEC tournament. Snowball effect there. Don't want to have that happen here. Kilbert takes ball 1. The first hitter, Stacy, has fallen behind. Lined up in the 1-0. This one a lazy fly ball in the infield. Lauren Roussel will call for it and have it. That will retire to the side. But Bethune Cookman does get a run on 2 hits. They strand 1 runner after a half inning. Bethune Cookman 1. Florida coming to bat. You're listening to Gator Softball on WRUF.
bunch all day.
Forgot to write down Stacy's stats on this tournament. Welcome back to the Florida Softball Complex. Bad news for the Gators in the top half of the first inning as Bethune Cookman does push a run across. They lead 1-0. We head to the bottom of the first inning for Bethune Cookman. It's Lauren McCoy in the circle. She wears number 30, has a 1.25 ERA on the year, 18-12. It's her 35th appearance, 31st start. She's thrown 162 innings and of 119 hits, struck out 110. Opponents are hitting .203 against her. She's given up just 5 home runs on the season.
Defensively for Bethune Cookman in the outfield from left to right. Capri Williams, Melanie Johnson, and Megan McGuire. Infield from third to first, Andrea Thomas, Amber Jackson, Tiffany Bowser, and Sardi Stewart. Battery of Rachel Kilbert and Lauren McCoy.
Junior Stacy Pestrak to lead things off for the Gators. On the year, Pestrak 254 batting average, leads the team with 2 triples, 13 sacrifices, and 19 steals. McCoy is ready, and here's the pitch, and it drills Pestrak in the left hip. And Pestrak clapping her hands as she jogs energetically down to first base, trying to get some life from the Florida Gators as they try to rally in the bottom of the first inning.
DJ, I'm going to point something out here, watching Rachel Kilbert there throwing in pregame warmth, and also her throw down to second base here as we are moving into the bottom of the first inning. Didn't look like a very strong arm. Of course, Stacy Pestrak, arguably the fastest on this Florida Gator team. What surprised me early in the game to see Florida try to steal an extra base.
Shelly Stevens steps in now, the sophomore. She's a slap hitter from the left side, wears 00. 302 over the 300 mark on the year. 2 runs driven in. Took ball 1 outside. Here comes the 1-0 from McCoy. That's going to miss low and outside. Ball 2. Outfield, Ray Stevens, very shallow. But straight up. The 2-0 swung on and missed by Stevens. It'll be 1-2. Shelley was 1 for 3 in the regular season game.
Big gap in left center field.
The 2-1 slap to the left side. It's going to go foul over the head of Andrea Thomas. 2 balls and 2 strikes when Stevens returns to the box. Getting some words of advice from assistant coach Carrie D. Ragois, which is first base. Karen Johns at third. Shelley was in an 0 for 7 slump before going 4 for her last 8. The 2-2 delivery by McCoy, slap, gets a chopper up the middle to second base. Bowser has it, goes to first, safe. Shelley beats it out. And a high chopper. And we have an injury as Sardi Stewart came down on first base. Funny is a bad throw she reached for, and she's down on the ground in pain.
She does have the brace already on that right knee.
And that would be a big loss for Bethune Cookman, as Stewart did have the RBI single in the first inning. He was left stranded. Stewart, freshman, one of the 10 players from California. Her sister, Amber Jackson, playing shortstop. She's out to her feet now. And applause from the softball faithful. Pestrack and Shelly Stevens talking with Karen Johns in the third base box. They'll go back to the respective positions on second and first base. So no outs as Sardi Stewart's going to limp off the field and into the Bethune Cookman dugout.
Well, not to make any light of the situation, as anytime there's an injury, it's always a concern for anyone here at the Florida Gators softball complex, but Florida setting themselves up nicely for a huge inning as runners at first and second, plenty of speed aboard for arguably one of the best hitters in the Southeastern Conference, and that's Lindsey Cameron on deck. Not too bad either, Melissa Zick.
So Andrea Thomas
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention now playing third base for Bethune
first base.
Christina Trimble.
And the designated player, Christina Trimble, will go to third base. Lindsey Cameron taking her warm-up cuts. So obviously that move, hoping that Stewart will be able to come back and bat next time around. Cameron, 1 for 3 against Bethune Cookman down in Daytona. She's 2 for 6 in her career against the Wildcats. Cameron missed a lot of time with a wrist injury during the heart of the SEC schedule. Since returning, all she's done is gone 10 for 26 with 7 runs driven in and 2 long balls.
Now batting for Florida outfielder number 2, Lindsey Cameron.
So everybody back ready to play. Chris Neighbors, the home plate umpire, gets his mask back on. Cameron steps in. Here's the windup and the pitch by McCoy. Cameron swings and misses. Drop ball on the inside corner. Up in right center for Cameron. She does have power to all fields. Melanie Johnson swung over to the left a bit in center field. The 0-1. This one is soft liner. Amber Jackson has it at short, and a turn 2 on the 6-4-3 double play. Stacy Pestrack will be at third, but now there is 2 outs in the Gator first inning. A great turn there by Amber Jackson.
Third baseman number 28, Melissa Zick.
Well, now it'll be up to Melissa Zick to get Pestrack home similar to the way Stewart did so with Amber Jackson the first. A 2-out base hit to tie the game.
Zick, a sophomore from Tampa. Drills this one into center field. It's going to drop for an RBI single from Melissa Zick. Stacy Pestrack scores in the Gators and tie this one up at 1. Good hit there by Melissa Zick. That will be RBI number 41 on the year for Zick. Kristen Butler will step in now. Butler's a junior from Orlando. First pitch, and this is low and outside. The 1-0 to Butler, a change-up check swing fouled off to the right side. That'll even the count up at 1. Butler did not get a hit in Daytona when these two teams met earlier in the season. 2 for 7 though lifetime. Last year she was 2 for 4 in the game between the Cats and Gators. Here comes the 1-1. Butler chops a swing to the left side. At third, up with it is Trimble, and over to first to retire the side with a big 2-out base knock by Melissa Zick. Drives in Stacy Pestrack. We will head to the second inning. Florida and Bethune Cookman are tied at 1. You're listening to Gator Softball on AM 850 WRUF.
Like that call?
No call.
We need the same 2-out hit. 1 pitch.
It's with a pen.
You couldn't see it when I wrote in pencil.
Don't offer to do it if you're not going to do it properly.
I'm going to punch him before this broadcast is over.
It's 4-0 Stevens on the side.
Good.
No, not good.
Agree to disagree. What inning? Top of the 7th?
Yeah. Garcia throwing a gem.
Can we get a complete game shutout out of him?
Nope.
Great, I pissed myself.
Oh boy.
Told you, Friday in the afternoon, baby.
DJ Driscoll and Brian Casey back with you at the Florida Softball Complex as Stacy Stevens throws her last warm-up pitch. We will begin the second inning. It's tied at 1. 6, 7, and 8 due up for Bethune Cookman. Christina Trimble, Megan McGuire, and Melanie Johnson. Trimble, of course, going to third base after the Sardi Stewart injury.
You look at up and down the first inning, almost identical for these two teams. You had the leadoff hitter getting aboard, and then coming around to score on a 2-out RBI single by the cleanup hitter.
First offering a changeup grounded to Laura Russell at short. She's up with it over to first. One pitch, 1 out in the top of the second inning. Megan McGuire, the right fielder, stepping now. She's a righty. Where's number 20?
Right fielder number 20, Megan McGuire.
This will be her first at-bat of the season against the Gators. Squaring around to bunt, she'll pull back. It's an off-speed rise ball there, it looked like, by Stacy. Misses upstairs for ball 1. Lined up the 1-0, swung on, foul back. McGuire, a junior from Clovis, California. On the year batting .235, 13 driven in. The 1-1. This is outside 2-0. Wire squaring around again to bunt, but she'll pull back.
Stevens doing a nice job this time. We've seen her moving the ball up and down in the zone as well as in and out. So far, pretty effective.
Butler sets up outside. Here's the 2-2. Line outside, a lazy fly ball in the infield. Lindsay Norfleet back on the edge of the outfield. Grass makes the play. 2 up, 2 down in the top of the second.
The center fielder number 24,
Melanie Johnson will step in now. She's in center field. Member of the second team All-Southeast Region. The National Fast Pitch Coaches Association regional team. Johnson, 353 on the year. That's third on the Bethune Cookman team. 43 for 44 in the stolen base department. That does lead the team with 26 strikeouts. Stevens' first pitch missed, and here comes the 1-0. Right in the other half. Yeah, in right center for Johnson as Shelly Stevens hugging the line in right. Cameron and Howard playing straight up in left and center. The 1-1 from Stevens. Hits the inside corner. Johnson didn't like the call. Nonetheless, it's 1-2. Johnson, the only player on Bethune Cookman's team, is a native of the state of Florida. The 1-2 swings and misses. So there's the strikeout for Stacy Stevens, her second of the ball game. Makes quick work of the Wildcats in the second inning. We'll head to the bottom of 2. 1-1 your score. You're listening to Gator Softball on AM 850 WRU.
course. We'll serve you ice cold Coca-Cola products and lots of different sources of food.
If we win, we can just leave all this stuff set up.
Look at this nasty house. Thanks a lot, Betty Davis. I know it's messy. Well, Hal, you should try it.
Also, while you're up there, check out the official 2005 NCAA softball tournament merchandise.
Hey, Erica, if you can hear me, can you play the housing discrimination commercial? All right.
You never know. We'll be listening.
Back for the bottom of the second. 6-7-8 duo up for the Gators in the form of Mandy Sherman, Lauren Roussel, and Lacey Howard. 1-1 is your score. Stacy Stevens looking very good in the top half of the second, putting Bethune Cookman down in order. Mandy Sherman, the SEC Player of the Week in the final week of the regular season. She's a senior co-captain, wears number 4, and has really been huge for the Gators down the stretch run.
She really has, DJ. She stepped up both inside the circle as well as home plate.
First McCoy pitch to Sherman. Misses outside for a ball.
A career .250 hitter in NCAA tournament games with a home run and an RBI.
One-0 is on its way. That's going to get the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Of course, on a couple bad wheels, knee problems have plagued her throughout her career. Gonna call time. There's a batting glove on the left hand and a wristband on the left forearm. Brother gave that to her. The 1-1 hit down the line, just foul. That spelled extra bases. Could have hooked inside the third base bag. However, it did go foul, so it'll be 1 and 2. Sherman 10 over her last 19. At the plate is 6 runs batted in the last 7 games. The 1-2 outside, nice eye by Sherman laying off that.
That's a tough pitch to lay off of as a hitter. Anything to the outside with 2 strikes. A lot of times that's where you see the batter lunging at it. A one-handed swing.
That's where you see the maturity of the senior. And the 2-2 delivery out there again. Chop to the left side. Backhand stop by Amber Jackson. Makes the throw to first, but Mandy Sherman giving it her all. Beats it out. There's a leadoff single. A smile on her face.
A very tough play for Amber Jackson as that ball was hit into the hole. I was actually kind of surprised that she got to the ball.
I'm surprised she got to the ball and made the throw. Incredible defensive play. Nothing she could have done better. Nikki Baldwin, the senior from Homestead, Florida, is going to come in and teach run for Sherman. It's been a primary role for Baldwin.
The hitter is the shortstop, number 29,
3 of 6.
Roussel.
In the stolen base category for Nikki. Lauren Roussel steps to the plate. Batting .242 on the year. 18 driven in, 5 home runs. Very patient hitter. She takes ball 1 upstairs. Roussel with an on-base percentage of .401. And 5 Gators. On-base percentage is over 400. The 1-0, that's going to miss long outside 2-0. Roussel's second on the team to Melissa Zick and walked Zick with 30. Lauren with 28. The 2-0, it's chopped to the left side and third base percentage. Trimble upward, he goes to second, but Baldwin's in there safe. And runners will be on first and second now with nobody out, similar to first inning.
And really no question there. Not a close play even at second base. That ball was chopped. It was going to be a tough play.
Center fielder number 8, Lacey
Trimble let that ball bounce, take that extra hop, waited for it to come down. By that time, Baldwin was already about 3 steps from second base. The throw should have gone to first, had plenty of time to get Roussel. Doesn't have the best speed in the world. But now, again, runners at first and second with nobody out.
Lacey Howard steps in there. First pitch to Howard, swung on, fouled straight back. Lacey on the year. Even 200. 7 driven in, 1 home run. That 200 doesn't describe the way she's been hitting up late. Hit safely in 6 of the last 7 games. 3 of those have been multi-hit games.
Hitting .312 in her last 10.
The 0-1 to Howard. Change up, fouled back.
And that's it. That's right there. That swing shows the difference between Lacey Howard at the beginning of the year and Lacey Howard now in the middle of May. Off-speed pitch, she waited back on it and got a good swing on it, fouled it back to the screen early in the season. She's given a home run cut. A cut to where she probably could swing twice.
The 0-2 delivery by McCoy, slipped right back at her. She's going to go to third for the first out of the inning, cutting down Nikki Baldwin. So the lead runner goes down. There'll be 1 out. Roussel on second base. Lacey Howard at first. Lindsay Norfleet steps in. She's a junior from Madison, Florida. There's number 32. Savannah Kelly been getting a lot of time at second, but in the regionals, Karen John's going to go with the veteran. First pitch to Norfleet gets the outside corner. Norfleet put on the first team, Arthur Ashe, sports scholarship. The 0-1 misses out, or makes it outside. It'll be 0-2. Chris Neighbors behind the plate is being consistent though with that outside corner. Arthur Ashe award given to students with over a 3.2 GPA that also participate in athletics and are active in the community. The 0-2, it's a change that misses downstairs. Gators one of 5 SEC teams hosting regionals. The 1-2 to Norfleet, inside 2-2. So good eye by Lindsay as she battles back to even it up at 2. Norfleet 182 on the season. 2-2, way outside and high. Falling behind 0-2 to cut it off full.
Make a pitch to you. Watch ball.
Second inning, do you have the runners off on this pitch? Laura Roussel being your lead runner?
Howard does have decent speed at first. And the twist to strike him out through him, even though Norfleet does back from the right side, kind of an obstacle there. But swings through and misses for strike 3.
Top of the order, Colin Florida, third baseman, number
First strikeout
30.
of the game for McCoy. Back to the top of the order, and Stacy Pestrak, who was hit by a pitch in the first pitch in the bottom of the first inning. So 2 outs now. Runners on first and second for the Gators. Pestrak takes ball 1 upstairs. .254 batting average this year for Stacy Pestrak, her first in the orange and blue. The 1-0. That misses outside. Colbert threatens to throw down to second, but she won't. Boy, ready. Here's the 2-0. Downstairs, 3 balls and no strikes. After assume Pastrack would be taking here. She does, it's a strike. 3-1. 2 outs, 2 on, 1-1 your score. Bottom of the second inning. Shelly Stevens on deck. 3-1, Pastrack chops it to short. Amber Jackson off the heel of her glove. She's not going to be able to field it as Lauren Roussel cut right in front of her. Nice timing job there, running the base path by Lauren Roussel. The base is now loaded with 2 outs for Shelly Stevens.
Error number 17 for Amber Jackson. It was a great base running play right there. Credit Lauren Roussel with the assist. She crossed right in front of the path. Immediately that ball took that last hop, and Jackson lost sight of it for a moment. And it was just long enough.
Shelly beat on an infield single in the first inning. Was retiring Cameron with a 6-4-3 double play. Sacks are full of Gators. The 0-1 to Shelly. There it is. It's the outside corner. 0-2. Two big pitches there by the corner. Delivery. Shelly chops this one high towards third. Backhanded. Out. A play that I thought Lacey Howard was safe at third. Trimble backhanded it, turned around, stepped on the bag. She fielded it just about 2 feet away. Lacey Howard thought she got in there first. Unfortunately, Doug Zimmerman said no, so we will head to the third inning, and the score will remain 1-1 between Florida and Bethune Cookman. You're listening to Gator Softball on AM 850 WRUF. She was safe.
I think so too. How are we doing this? Are we doing this 3-4-5 or 3-4? What's that?
3-4-5. We're not a glory hog.
Huh?
Not a glory hog.
Yeah. What, we got an update?
I have it. Cup fan, so I'm assuming it's not good news.
He's a Cup fan?
Yeah. It is really good news, so it's shitty news. Chances are shitty news.
The Northleets are weird. Mr. Northleet down here by this pole watching the game. This is over here by this pole.
She's bouncing at it.
Oh, is she? Oh, you may be right.
1-1 your score as we move to the third inning at the Florida Softball Complex. And first round of this NCAA Regional in Gainesville, Florida. Inning number 3 means it's time for me. Throw shuffleballs to my broadcast partner, Mr. Ryan 2-4
DJ, thank you. 9-1-2, Capri Williams, Amber Jackson, and Tiffany Bowser due up for the Lady Wildcats here in the third. 1 run, 2 hits, and an error for Bethune Cookman. A run on 3 hits and an error for your Florida Gators. Capri Williams will step in wearing the number 32 in the left-handed batter's box. The first pitch swung on and missed for strike 1.
Batting .307 on the year. The lowest of the 7 Bethune Cookman players hitting over 300.
The 0-1 pitch sails upstairs and away. Count evens 1 ball and 1 strike.
Freshman Lisa Hassan throwing some pitches in the Gator bullpen.
Corners pitching. The 1-1 slap attempt, foul left side. Stacey Stevens came into today with an 0-2 record in the NCAA tournament. Both those games obviously being your freshman year of last season. A 4.59 earned run average, 10 2/3 innings pitched. 8 runs, 7 of those earned, 9 strikeouts. She's ahead of the count 1-2 to Capri Williams. Pitch, off speed, slap. Stacey Pastrack will field it. Throw over to first base, up the line, keep away from Melissa Zick. It will be a throwing error. The throw to second base now, not in time. Bethune Cookman has the leadoff man at second base with nobody out.
That'll go as E5. Stacy Pestrek had some trouble against Tennessee in the SEC tournament. She had to hurry on that throw, and I think that's what made her throw it high. This is it. Jumped up and tried to get it, but the runner, Capri Williams, getting in her way. And not the way you want to start off the third inning if you're the Florida Gators going back to the top of the order.
The 12th error on the season for Stacy Pestrek. Back to the top we go. Amber Jackson. She's 1 for 1. She singled and scored. Pitch, ground ball back in the middle. Off of Stacey Stevens goes. He fielded by Russell. Stay in the infield. Everybody's safe now. Runners at the corners with nobody out.
Well, Stacy got her glove on that. Probably a good thing that would have went into center field. And with Capri Williams' speed, she probably would have scored on that.
Karen Johns now will come out of the Florida dugout. She will meet with the infield inside the circle. Tiffany Bowser sacrificed Amber Jackson to third base back in the first inning. 3-4 on the putout there. She will step in. Bowser came into today's game with a .321 batting average, 3 home runs, 31 runs batted in. She now has 12 sacrifices on the season. She leads that category by 2 over Rachel Filbert. Beating inside the circle, breaks up. Bethune Cookman runners heading back to their bases. It's Capri Williams at third, Amber Jackson at first. Bethune Cookman in a position here to have a big inning as they are at the 2 spot in their order, with still nobody out.
Trouble brewing in the third inning. Mandy Sherman's going to get up in the pen as well. Lisa Hassey will take a seat. Amanda Knowles. Second half of the double-barreled action in the field 9.
Bowser from University Place, Washington. Stevens' first offering. It's the outside corner for strike 1. Top of the third inning, 1-1 between Bethune Cookman and the Florida Gators. The winner will play South Florida tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock. Stevens comes to the belt. The 0-1 square round runner goes fake throw down to second base. Nothing there. Jackson will get a stolen base. Now runners at second and third with nobody out.
The 32nd steal of the year, 32 of 36 now.
1 ball and 1 strike to count. Williams at third, now Jackson at second. Stevens pitch, swung on and missed for strike 2.
Good location there, rolling in. Bowser was late on that swing as well. Stevens been throwing a lot of off-speed stuff throughout the first 2 innings.
She is ahead of the count now, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Line in the pitch. Lunged at, foul down the right side. It will bounce off the wall. Near the Bethune Cookman bullpen. Count remains 1-2.
Bowser was 2 for 2 down in Daytona. And the Gators went there.
The 1-2 pitch, off speed, swung on and missed. Strike 3, 1 away here in the top half of the third inning.
When Stacy's at her best, she has that changeup going, and that was quite a changeup as Bowser had no chance at that. Great location, blowing out. Bowser just lunged at it, a big strike out there.
Not out of trouble yet with 1 out. Andrea Thomas will step in. She struck out looking back in the first inning. Second on the team with 44 runs batted in.
Stevens with 3 strikeouts now.
First pitch, misses outside. Stevens struck Thomas out on an outside pitch, and she picks up where she left off with Thomas going outside. That one too far. 1 ball and no strikes. Zick in about 5 feet in front of the first base bag. Pestrek the same over at third. The 1-0. Inside corner, strike 1.
Good pitch there, Andrea Thomas kind of crowding the plate a bit. direction. She's not afraid to throw her inside. Hits the corner.
Stevens 1-1 pitch. Misses that time outside. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Tries to go out there. So we'll see if she stays out or comes back in. And the 2-1 offering.
Lauren McCoy has grabbed a bat. She waits on deck. She would hit in the spot of Sardi Stewart. The 2-1. Bunt attempt will be fielded by Melissa Zick, who only plays to first base. And it's in time. The run does score. Bethune Cookman now leads 2-1. And there's 2 away, and Amber Jackson stands at third base.
Not a very friendly reaction there by Andrea Thomas. And first base coach Alyssa Smith, the assistant for Bethune Cookman, is going to go over there and tell her to calm down. Don't want to be showing umpires up like that. It was a bang-bang play at first base. As you said, Brian, the only place Melissa Zick could go on that was to first.
So the safety squeeze works out for Bethune Cookman. As they now have a single tallies in the first and the third. They lead 2-1. Lauren McCoy will step in. She's batting for Sardi Stewart, who was injured in the first inning. McCoy, a 188 hitter on the season, 3 runs batted in, no home runs. Two runs, 3 hits in there for BCC. A run, 3 hits, 2 errors for the Florida Gators. Another error comes back to bite the Florida Gators here as Pestrak's throwing error allowed Capri Williams to get on base. First pitch, upstairs and away for ball 1.
Those unearned runs has been the downfall of the Gators so many times this season.
Pitch here, grounded ball to Lauren Roussel. She's up with it, plenty of time over to first base. Low throw, nice sweep by Melissa Zick to retire the side. Bethune Cookman does get another run. They do so on 1 hit, no errors, or rather 1 error, excuse me. We will go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's Bethune Cookman 2, Florida 1. You're listening to Gator Softball.
Did you know that millions of people are afflicted with a serious infectious disease each year that can be prevented? That disease is influenza
It's all right.
or flu.
I'm just used to, I'm so used to baseball where they hit on the floor.
Oh, okay.
This disease,
Sorry.
passing it on to each other as well as family members and friends. This causes millions of school sick days and lost work days every year. It's extremely important to vaccinate your children and all healthy individuals, not just the elderly and those at high risk. Flu season has
Need a run here.
and the worst months are yet ahead. It's not too late to vaccinate. Do it now and prevent the aches, pains,
The
fevers,
stars at night, big and bright.
This year, for the first time, there are alternatives to the traditional flu shot for some people. Ask your doctor or pharmacist.
Just a thought. Stay positive.
I'm positive. We got this. We got this.
Welcome back to the Florida Gator Softball Complex. Bethune Cookman 2, Florida 1 as we move into the bottom of the 3rd inning. Part of the order to it for the Florida Gators. Lindsey Cameron, Melissa Zick, and Kristen Butler take their cuts for the 2nd time around against Lauren McCoy. 2 runs, 3 hits, an error for Bethune Cookman. A run, 3 hits, 2 big errors for the Florida Gators. The Gators have now committed 10 errors in their last 3 games.
It's not the way you're going to get wins.
Both errors leading to Bethune Cookman runs as Lindsey Cameron's error in the first inning allowed Amber Jackson to move to second base. She would score on a 2-out single. Stacey Pestrak's throwing error moved up Capri Williams to second base. She would score on a safety squeeze. Cameron will step in. She grounded into a 6-4-3 double play in the first. McCoy's pitch downstairs for ball 1.
Other than those errors, the other thing that sticks out in my mind right now, 4 left on base after just 2 innings for the Gators.
Cameron, the junior from Palm Beach Gardens, Florida, awaits the 1-0 from McCoy. Here it is. Inside, hits the corner. Count evens 1-1.
Great break on that one.
Looked as if it nearly Reynolds continues to warm up now. She is joined by Lisa Hansen. McCoy wants time. Rachel Kilbert will go out and talk to the big right-hander.
Well, Lindsay Cameron, 6 for 17. That's 353 in her career in regionals. Driven in 2 runs on those 6 hits.
The 1-1. It's the outside corner. McCoy ahead, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, a wide strike zone. We see low and in calling high and out.
The wind blowing hard right out to center field. Not very deep in the outfield is Bethune Cookman. The 1-2, well outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Cameron is a free swinger. Not chasing that ball as it was way out of the zone.
The 2-2. Line drive towards second base. Off Bowser's wheel of glove. So underhand over Andrea Thomas in time to get Cameron for out number 1.
Cameron got jammed a little bit on that as it rolled out to second base, and a funny spin on that ball. That's why Bowser had a tough time fielding it cleanly. She did a nice job of recovering in a hurry, able to flip over to Andrea Thomas to retire Lindsay Cameron.
Melissa Zick 1 for 1 with a single and an RBI in the first inning. She looks at first pitch outside for ball 1.
Zick in the SEC tournament 0 for 6, but before that, in 13 games before that, she was hitting .500, 17 for 34.
The 1-0. Ground ball. Amber Jackson has it. Plenty of time over to first base for out number 2. Quickly 2 up, 2 down for the Florida Gators, and Kristen Butler will have her turn.
McCoy can get ball, that's a lot of momentum for Bethune Cookman. They get to run in the top of the 3rd, and you got the heart of the Gator lineup coming up in the bottom half as we are right here. You get 2 ground balls that weren't hit very sharply. You can retire Butler.
First pitch to Kristen Butler, swung and missed for strike 1.
Got to give the Wildcats a lot of confidence.
Big gap in right center field. The 0-1. Butler grounds this one back through the middle into center field for a base hit. So the fourth hit of the afternoon for the Florida Gators. They'll try to do something with 2 outs. Kristen Butler on first, and Andy Sherman will step in.
Swing there by Kristen Butler, took that ball right back up the middle. She's now hit safely in 8 of her last 9 games. We'll see if Mandy Sherman can come up big like she has so often down the stretch for the Florida Gators, as we have time called, and Laura Watton going to go out to the circle, gather her whole infield around.
These are the kind of conferences that really confuse me as Mandy Sherman will re-enter. 2 outs. The pitcher does a nice job getting 2 ground ball outs to begin the inning. You give him a 2-out single, and all of a sudden there's panic and a need for a conference.
Might be careful, Sherman.
Now batting for Florida, designated player
Does
number 4.
require the visit.
Andy Sherman.
Sherman had an infield single in the second inning. Baldwin came in to run. Boy's pitch. Misses outside and low for ball 1. One ball, no strikes, 2 outs. 2-1 your score. Bethune Cookman on top. The 1-0. High and away, 2 balls and no strikes. Lauren Roussel waits on deck.
Sherman 5 for 16 in her career in the regionals, including a home run, 3 runs scored, and 1 driven in.
The 2-0. It's the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike as the sun reemerges from the clouds here at the Gators Softball Complex.
Now, those first 3 pitches doesn't look like McCoy really wants to challenge Sherman inside.
2-1. Inside corner Sherman, they like the call. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's the second call. Going inside. The first one we saw to Stacy Pressure, I believe it was. And Chris Neighbors, I mean, you're going to call the outside fine, but it's a pretty wide zone. Up, down, left, and right.
The 2-2 pitch foul back to the screen.
And right there you see Sherman, a nice job just fouling that one off. You got to protect the plate. There's no way she really wants to put that in play. It's not in a good position to hit it, but you have to swing at it because it might be called strike 3.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Kristen Butler on first. The overhead line by McCoy on the pitch. Ground ball into the hole. Same situation. Amber Jackson up the throw to second base. Not in time. No ball. Is held on to by Tiffany Bowser. So the inning continues. The fielder's choice. Kristen Butler safe at second. Lauren Rousseau will step into the plate.
We've seen some incredible range from Amber Jackson. Something balls up in there. Kind of has an unorthodox approach. Throw a side on. It would have been a close play. Probably would have had Butler at second if Bowser could have held on to that ball.
First pitch to Lauren Rousseau. Outside corner for strike one. Throw it back down to second base. Kristen Butler was caught off guard. Had no idea the ball was going to second. She gets back in the nick of time.
Well, one hop there looked like it was being thrown back to McCoy by Kilbert. Was it one hop to Bowser? Either way, Butler does get back in time.
The 0-1. And this is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Kilbert doing her best to try to frame that. Not going to get the call as it missed low as well as outside.
Michelle has been struggling as of late. Getting 174 in her last 10 games.
It would really need a clutch 2-out hit. Couldn't get it last inning. Let's see if Rousseau can come through.
Ground ball by Rousseau up towards second base. Fielded by Tiffany Bowser. She'll tag second base to retire the side. No runs, a hit, no errors. 2 more left for the Florida Gators. We will go to the top of the 4th inning. Bethune Cookman 2, Florida 1. You're listening to Gator Softball on AM 850 WRUF.
It's this cold. My sinuses feel like it's going to explode. Sudafed, I'll find.
And now we're being told, as you may have heard, an 8-minute delay. Umpires are going to rotate their positions. Chris Neighbors may be suffering from a little dehydration. As he called over Lori Bish, maybe to say, hey, getting a little warm back here. We may want to do something before.
You want to trade, get the hard job? Now, and you think about the effects on the game in this situation with a different home plate umpire coming in the top of the 4th inning. I mean, we saw, I was questioning Neighbors' strike zone a bit. He was consistently calling that outside corner, but also calling some pitches that were low and in. And, you see umpires sometimes.
Home plate umpire. Those umpires look rejuvenated here as we get set for action. Again, the defense for Florida. Cameron in left, Howard in center, Stevens in right. Pestrak at third, Roussel at short, Norfleet at second, Melissa Zig at first. Butler behind home plate, Stacy Stevens in the circle. Holly Bussey waits at first base. No count on Megan McGuire. You ever sat through an umpire delay before like that?
I can't think of anything. I've seen, umpires get injured and maybe a replacement outcome. I've never seen like an 8-minute delay to kind of get them refreshed and change the equipment. Of course, Lori Bliss behind the plate needing to put all the pads on.
And when they first called time and came over and talked to the coaches, the sky was a little darker over our heads back to the left, or to the, I guess you say, the west side of the field. I thought maybe one of the umpires may have seen lightning. We would have to wait out at least a 30-minute lightning delay, but that luckily was not the case. And after about 10 minutes, we're back to NCAA Regional Tournament Softball as Megan McGuire will step in with one away here in the top half of the 4th inning.
That's really one of the things that I love so much about baseball and softball. No matter how many games you watch, you always see something new.
Florida baseball team in action tonight against Vanderbilt. They do have a half-game lead over Tennessee in the SEC East. 3 wins this weekend would give Florida the #1 seed in the SEC tournament and make them the SEC regular season champions. You can catch that game on our sister station, Rock 104, coverage starting at 6:50. First pitch, as we get back to action, outside for ball 1.
Of course, tomorrow's game will also be baseball on WRUF FM Rock 104.
1 ball and no strikes to Megan McGuire. Stevens comes set to the belt to wind the pitch. Inside, nearly hit her. So good news, the number 7 Florida men's golf team fired a tournament best 14 under par second round. The 2005 NCAA East Regional Golf Tournament to move into second place with an 11 under par total score of 557. The Gators trail Wake Forest by only 3 strokes entering the final round of play scheduled for tomorrow at the Golf Club of Tennessee. The 2-0 pitch, ground ball fielded by Petrick on 2 hops, long throw to first base. Nice scoop by Melissa Zick for out number 2. Bussy moves up to second base. She's in scoring position now with 2 away. And Melanie Johnson stepping in.
That's quite a comeback by the men's golf team. Wake Forest had a big lead. Congratulations to them. Of course, the women fighting to get in the top 10. They're tied at 10th coming into the 4th round today out in Oregon. And Stacy Pastrick, though, back to this game. A low throw there on one she had to hurry. Kind of in between whether she wanted to see if that ball would go foul. Made the right decision in fielding it because it probably wouldn't have. But she's really got to work on her throws when they're under some pressure. That one's low.
First pitch to Melanie Johnson, swung on a miss for strike 1. The top 10 teams from each of the 3 NCAA regional championships will move on to the NCAA championships. So Florida in good position to move on there. No balls and 1 strike to Melanie Johnson. The only player from the state of Florida. Slap attempt popped up. Kristen Butler going back on it. She's there in foul territory to make the catch for out number 3. No runs and hits, no errors, 1 left. There was an 8-minute umpire delay as well. We're through 3 1/2. It's Bethune Cookman 2, Florida 1. You're listening to Gators Softball on AM 850 WRUF.
I think that Mercantile has put a new
Good job.
face on banking for the small business owner. Eddie and Steve Thorpe on SMB Technologies.
Could have gone for 12.
Materials are sold around the world.
What's that?
Could have gone for 12.
Here's them at Edge.
By the way, you said the exact, when we were talking about the Austin Regional, you said the same thing I said
Did I?
about 30 seconds earlier.
I wasn't paying attention. Maybe somebody tuned in that 30 seconds.
What's that?
Maybe somebody tuned in. I added the Corpus Christi
Maybe something
Corpus
forgot.
Christi Campus Club.
Roto Rooter. We really need a run.
Mercantile Bank. We take banking personally. Offices in the greater Gainesville area. Member FDIC.
2 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Bethune Cookman Lady Wildcats. A run, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Florida Gators as we move into the bottom half of the 4th inning. Lacey Howard will lead things off for the Florida Gators. Laura Watt, head coach of the Lady Wildcats, coming on talking with home plate umpire Lori Bish. And DJ made a good point last half inning. How will the change of the home plate umpire affect these pitchers working with the new strike zone?
We'll find out. Stay tuned.
Didn't seem to bother Stacy Stevens at all. She came back and got the first 2 batters she saw after the home plate umpiring switch. Doug Zimmerman stays at 3rd base. Chris Neighbors now the first base umpire. Hopefully he got hydrated during that little break.
Sure he did.
Howard grounded to a fielder's choice, her first at bat. She looks at first pitch outside.
You know, the Gators really, they need a big hit. They're leaving these runners on with 2 outs. You know, maybe a home run or get some runners on and just a double or something.
The 1-0 pitch fouled off Lacey Howard's left ankle. Florida really has not gotten a big hit in the past 2 weeks since leaving Lexington, Kentucky. The Gators just 5-9 on the season since April 24th. 1 ball and 1 strike to Lacey Howard. Pitch. Hits the outside corner. Howard in hold now, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It looks like the outside corner is going to be called the same.
Sophomore from League City, Texas, the first ever signee from the state of Texas for the Florida Gator softball program. The 1-2 from McCoy. Swung on and missed for strike 3 for out number 1.
Just the second strikeout for McCoy.
Lindsay Norfleet now will step in. She was strikeout victim number 1 back in the second inning. First pitch to Norfleet. It's the outside corner for strike 1. McCoy so far going to work on the outer half of the plate here in the 4th inning. The overhead wind by McCoy, the 0-1. Left attempt pulled back. Misses inside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Laura Templeton heading into the Gator bullpen to take some practice cuts. Big series going 3 for 3 with 5 runs batted in Kentucky.
The 1-1. High and away, 2 balls and 1 strike. Nice to see some of the other Florida Gator athletes in attendance here supporting the softball team, as women's basketball players Brittany Davis and Kim Dye here, as well as football players Brandon Seiler and Phil Troutwine. The 2-1. Ground ball. To be fielded by McCoy. She has time. She underhands over to first base for out number 2. 2 away. We go back to the top of the order to Stacy Pestrak.
Nice play by McCoy, ranging to her left. She did a smart thing too. She took a couple of steps towards the first base bag before she threw that ball. Had to hustle off the rubber to field it. Don't want to force a throw. Take your time, collect yourself, toss it over there, get the out.
First pitch, Stacy Pestrak bounces in there, gets away back to the screen. Stacy 0 for 1. She reached on an error in the second, was hit by a pitch and scored in the first.
Leadoff batter for both teams scored in this game. And Cookman's tacked 1 more on.
The 1-0 fouled right side onto the concourse. Nice catch. On the count. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs.
Pestrak had been struggling coming in, just 3 for her last 16.
The 1-1. Inside corner, called strike 2.
No way Pestrak could swing at that. McCoy really had her off balance. Stacy was not expecting an off-speed pitch there, and that's exactly what she got.
The 1-2 upcoming. McCoy's pitch, swung on and missed, 4 strike 3. 2 strikeouts in the inning for McCoy. We will go to the 5th. Bethune Cookman 2, Florida 1. You're listening to Gator Softball on AM 850 WRUF.
Kids with juvenile diabetes need you to be their hero. Now more than ever. Please help us find the cure now.
Contact the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation at 1-800-53-CURE.
Your health makes you.
We move now to the 5th. The score remains Bethune Cookman 2, Florida 1. Will be the bottom of the order. Capri Williams, then back to the top. Amber Jackson and Tiffany Bowser. The last time we started off with this part of the order, Bethune Cookman would tack on the extra run in the 3rd. 2 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for Bethune Cookman. 1 run, 4 hits, 2 errors for the Florida Gators. Stacey Stevens still in the circle. She'll begin her 5th inning of work right here against Capri Williams. Williams reached on a throwing error by Stacy Pestrak. She scored in the 3rd. Pestrak playing about 10 feet in front of the third base bag. The pitch right down the middle for strike 1.
Pestrack playing her very close again.
3-0-1 popped up, left side out of play. No balls and 2 strikes. 2 for 3 Williams. Stevens comes to the belt, the 0-2. Ground ball weakly. Stacey Pestrack opens it, has time over to first base. High throw again. Zick able to control that one, 4 out, number 1.
Good play there by Pestrack. Throw was a bit high. Nothing unmanageable.
Back to the top we go, and Amber Jackson, she's 2 for 2 with 2 singles in the first and the third. She singled and scored Bethune Cookman's first run in the first. And a 2-run RBI single by Sardi Stewart. Stewart has since left the game with a knee injury, has not returned. Stevens pitch, off speed, loop into left field. Roussel going back on it. She's there to make the catch over her shoulder for out number 2.
Great pitch there by Stacey Stevens. As you mentioned, Brian, it was a changeup. Amber Jackson did keep her hands back enough to make contact, but she did not get a solid swing on it, did not get good aluminum, as that was just a back-spinning, lazy infield pop-up to Lauren Roussel.
Tiffany Bowser now will step in. She is 0 for 1. She struck out in the third, sacrificed in the first. Off-speed pitch there, just misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes.
So you see Stacey starting 2 batters in a row off with the off-speed changeup.
1-0 the count. Pitch. It's the outside corner this time. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Gators will send 2, 3, 4 up in their half of the 5th inning. Stevens, Cameron, and Zick. 2 away here, top half of the 5th. The 1-1. Right down the middle, strike 2. Big pitch upcoming here from Stacey Stevens. A chance to get out of the inning 1, 2, 3. Get your offense back in the batter's box.
It looks like that break may have helped Stacey out as she appears to have her command back.
A 1-2 pitch downstairs. 2-2. Talk about momentum quite a bit, DJ, and a 1-2-3 inning here with 2 of the best hitters on the Bethune Cookman team. 2 and 3. The 2-2 pitch, ground ball, chopper, Lauren Roussel fielded. She'll have to hurry, throw to first base in time. 6-3 on the putout. 1-2-3 goes Bethune Cookman. We'll see if Florida can back off this momentum here. We're through 4.5. Bethune Cookman 2, Florida 1. Listening to Gator Softball on AM 850 WRUF.
SunStateFCU.org for security information that will help you safeguard your identity. SunState Federal Credit Union is already a trusted financial partner in this community, so you don't have to give your social security number to just anybody who asks for it. Don't trade your trust or your identity for a minor convenience. SunState Federal Credit Union is federally insured by the National Credit Union Administration.
Yes or no for tonight? With the Northwoods? White Sox winner to celebrate.
Haven't taken the series yet.
Join us again this Sunday evening at 11 for another edition of Rain Radio Awards, right here on AM 850 WRUF.
2, 3, 4 due up for the Florida Gators here in their half of the 5th inning. It'll be Shelly Stevens, Lindsey Cameron, and Melissa Zick. Anybody should get on. It will be Kristen Butler. Lauren McCoy still in the circle, beginning her 5th inning of work as well. Big inning, big chance here for the Florida Gators. At the heart of their order up. Diaz, Torres, Nass, and all with bats down the Florida Gator bullpen.
I'd like to take a moment to also thank those of us viewing on Gator Vision Online to our audio feed.
As well as Eric East producing back at the AM 850 studios on the campus of the University of Florida, Martin Hall. First pitch to Shelly Stevens coming up. The overhead line by McCoy in the pitch. Inside nearly hits Stevens. He gets back to the screen for ball 1.
Brian, this is really the inning that the Gators need to get something done. They're going through the heart of the lineup. You've seen McCoy twice now.
One ball and no strikes to Shelly Stevens. McCoy's pitch, swung on and missed. Count even 1 ball and 1 strike. The Gators need a run. They've got 9 outs to work with. The corner's about 3 feet in front of the bags, both third and first. The 1-1. Outside, it's away from Kilbrick.
You see now McCoy, when she's missing badly now too. Perhaps a bit of fatigue setting in. As Katie Finn is up in the Bethune Cookman pen.
The 2-1. Slap attempt. This will be fielded by Bowser. She'll take it to first base herself for out number 1.
Nice play by Bowser. Smartly just takes it herself. No need to throw the ball if you don't have to. Look at that one and shows her speed as she takes 3 steps and steps on that first base bag to retire Shelly.
Cameron 0 for 2. She grounded out to Bowser in the third. Grounded to a 6-4-3 double play in the first. McCoy's pitch. Ground ball is just fouled off of her left ankle at home plate.
That's going to leave a mark.
Cameron walking that off now.
Cammy, a tough girl. She'll hang in there.
Melissa Zick waits on deck. Richard Finn in the Bethune Cookman bullpen, the Florida bullpen filled with possible pinch hitters. No balls and 1 strike to Lindsey Cameron, first team All-SEC member. An off-speed pitch high and away for ball 1. Cameron was also named first team All-Southeast region, making her eligible for All-American voting. The 1-1 pitch from McCoy upcoming. Hits the inside corner. Again, Cameron not like to call neither to coach Karen Johns. Cameron in the hole now, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Cameron very shallow.
The pitch. Off speed, bounces 2 feet in front of home plate. The count now 2 balls and 2 strikes.
So last time Cammy grounded out to second, that going the opposite way, but mainly because she got jammed. Very few teams work her inconsistently, and that seems to be Bethune Cookman's approach right now. Because if you leave something up over the outer half, Cammy does have the power to take it out to right center field.
The 2-2 pitch. Ground ball, home plate. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The wind shifting and blowing now to right center field, as DJ mentioned. Megan McGuire very shallow and right, and a big gap in right center field. Melanie Johnson in center, playing about 5 steps to the third base side of second base. Boys overhead line. She's ready. The payoff pitch. Cameron lines this one into right field. Going back on it is Megan McGuire. She played it perfectly. Makes the catch for out number 2.
Well, Cammy tried to go the opposite way with it there. Just didn't get solid aluminum on it. That one going off the end of the bat. If she would have got it more towards the sweet spot, that would have been probably a triple over the head of McGuire.
So 2 up, 2 down for the Florida Gators. Now we'll bring up Melissa Zick. Zick 1 for 2. She had the lone RBI back in the first. Boys pitch upstairs. She also grounded out to Amber Jackson in the third. Zick calls time now, steps out of the box.
Still looking for that big hit.
The 1-0. It's hits the outside corner. Look low from up here. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And at this point, you have to say momentum is on Bethune Cookman's side. Although they did beat the Gators 5-0, that's the first time they beat the Florida program in history in 10 attempts. Now they come to Florida's home in a regional pressure situation, and they've handled it well so far.
The 1-1 pitch, ground ball back up the middle, out past the dive of Denver Jackson into center field for a base hit. So 2-out rally trying to get started by the Florida Gators. Melissa Zick's on for Kristen Butler.
And we've seen a lot of 2-out hits so far for the Gators, but when it mattered, when those runners are on with 2 outs, they have not been able to come through. We'll see if Butler can, as she did single her last at bat.
Butler 1 for 2, as DJ mentioned, singled in the third, grounded out in the first. McCoy's pitch. It's the inside corner for strike 1. 2 runs, 4 hits, 2 errors for Bethune Cookman. A run on 5 hits for 2 errors for the Florida Gators. McCoy comes set, the overhead wind, and the 0-1 pitch. Butler pops this one up, not very deep. Incoming is Norma Johnson, the center fielder. She calls for it and makes the catch to retire the side. No runs, a hit. No errors, 1 left for the Florida Gators. We'll head to the 6th. Florida still trailing Bethune Cookman 2-1. You're listening to Gators Softball on AM 850 WRUF.
Terrible. It's this cold. My sinuses feel like they're gonna explode. Sudafed aisle 5.
My allergies have my sinuses all stuffed up.
Sudafed aisle 5.
Tell the man what's wrong.
My sinuses.
Absolutely terrible. Absolutely terrible. Who the hell is fucking McCoy?
For sinus symptoms, not even a prescription. This congestion. Prescription strength sinus relief based on 24 doses of Sudafed. Are you training for a marathon or something?
I heard that you lose lots of weight. You can prevent diabetes.
Get real. You don't have to knock yourself out to prevent diabetes. Take small steps.
I mean, if we go 1, 2, 3 for the next 2 innings, Cameron and those girls won't even get up again.
Active 30 minutes, 5 days a week, and eating healthier can prevent diabetes. For more information, call 1-800-438-5383 and ask for Get Real, a message from the Department of Health and Human Services National Diabetes Education Program.
Welcome back to the Florida Gators Softball Complex. The score remains 2-1, Bethune Cookman on top of the Florida Gators. Andrea Thomas, Lauren McCoy, and Rachel Kilbert due up for the Lady Wildcats here as we move into the top of the 6th inning. For play-by-play the rest of the way, get a couple runs and move on to round 2 of the NCAA tournament. Here's DJ Driscoll.
Thank you, Brian.
Down to the 6 for
You
Bethune
mentioned it's
Cookman.
Thomas, McCoy, and Gilbert. That's 3 or 5 in the Bethune Cookman lineup. We saw in the bottom of the 5th, once again, the Gators have runners aboard, but are not able to push them across. Stacy Stevens still in the circle. And here's the first pitch to Thomas. Chopper 1 hopper to Lindsay Norfolk. She's up with it and over to Zick for the first out of the inning on 1 pitch.
Florida doing a great job defensively since the 3rd inning when they allowed that last run. They've gone 1, 2, 3. Stacey Stevens has retired 7 in a row now. Problem is, when Florida gets out of those innings quick, they're still not doing anything at home plate.
And you look at 2 runs that Bethune Cookman did score, both involving errors. So Lauren McCoy steps in. Grounded to Roussel at short, her only at bat of this game. First pitch, changeup. Seeing Stacy go to net a lot on the first pitch to the Wildcat batters in the last couple innings. Gets a strike call there, and it's 0-1. Second pitch misses upstairs, evening the count at 1 with 1 out.
McCoy from Corona, California.
1-1. He's outside again. 2 balls and a strike. ready, so is Stevens. Here's the 2-1 foul in the air right side. It's going to get it out of play.
Bounced off one of the light towers here at the softball complex back into the grandstand.
It's one of those things you couldn't do it again if you tried.
Might see that 4 or 5 times a season.
Back to softball, the 2-2. That one gets away from Stacy and rolls to home plate, so the count will be full. McCoy rests the bat on her shoulder, brings it up, she's ready. Here's the 3-2 grounded back up the middle. Roussel's going to dive for it, will not be able to get it. Lacey Howard fields it in center. Going to gun to Butler at first, almost got McCoy straying too far off the first base bag. A dangerous throw by Howard that almost got over Butler. As it is, McCoy safe. And that brings Rachel Kilbert to the plate. She singled her last at bat. That in the 4th was left stranded at second base, and she popped out in the infield to Lauren Roussel, her first at bat. The 5th hit of the ball game for Bethune Cookman. Come on, Gator, stay back. Christina Trimble on deck. We have a break in the action. Mandy Sherman, Amanda Knowles warming up in Florida's pen. Bethune Cookman's pen silent right now. Looks like we might have a pinch runner. I believe what this delay is for. We will. It's Jamie Scott, junior from San Bernardino, California. Now Laurel Watton's going to call time. Alyssa Smith, but Bethune Cookman's assistant coach, will travel from the first base coaching box to the third base line. She'll have a meeting with Watton, Kilbert, and the newly entered Jamie Scott.
One stolen base for Scott on the season, and as many opportunities, so she's 1 for 1.
Very long conference. Players and coaches all jogging back to their positions now as the wind gusting. Back out to dead center now. Gilbert steps in, and the first offering from Stacy. This is upstairs. Gilbert's going to call time. Step back in. 1-0. Downstairs, ball 2. 2-1, Bethune Cookman leads. On the top of the 6th inning with 1 out and 1 runner aboard. 2-0 pitch to Kilbert. Chopped in the infield. Butler's going to barehand it. Throws to Northwood covering first base. Nice play by Kristen Butler with a barehand. Smart play by Kristen Butler as well. Calling Stacy Stevens off. Stacy team charging in. Butler from behind the plate coming out. Butler has the play in front of her. Calls the pitcher off. Makes the play. Lindsay Northwood, where she's supposed to be covering that first base bag because Zick had the charge.
Kind of a swinging bunt there by Kilbert. 2 outs now with a runner in scoring position. A big at bat here for Christina Trimble.
Trimble, 6'3", 5'3" in her 2 at bats. First pitch outside.
The arm's very strong all the way around for Florida Gators on a base hit to the outfield. And he just went out there probably and right in Shelly Stevens.
The 1-0 upstairs, ball 2. This is the first inning, really, that we've seen Stacy fall behind hitters consistently.
And that's going to draw a visit from assistant coach Carrie Deaver-Boaz. She might be witnessing the same thing. Megan McGuire on deck. She popped out, Lindsay Norfleet, and grounded out to third. She is on deck.
Sure, Carrie DeBergo is just trying to loosen Stacy up a bit. Sometimes, late in games, she will get a little fatigued and kind of lose her form, get forward in her motion a little bit, and that will cause her to get wild. Back to play, the 2-0 followed right side into the stands. Be 2 balls and 1 strike to Trimble. 2 outs, runner on second. Alberta making her way through the stands. 2-1, inside swung on Miss Butler, snapped through it on to second. Back in there is Scott. Butler, a fun catcher to watch with him play. One is 2-2 to Trimble. Pitch fouled away. Same location, low and in. That one was chopped down the third baseline towards the Gator dugout. Trimble squares around a bunch. She'll pull back the 2-2. Fouls this one off the end of the bat right side. Back to the screen.
If you're looking ahead to Florida's half of the 6th inning, will be Mandy Sherman, Lauren Roussel, and Lacey Howard.
So we do the 2-2 yet again. The windup and the pitch upstairs, ripped down the left field line by Trimble. It'll go foul. And she was all over that rise ball.
Landed foul by about 5 feet, and that was trouble, as that would have definitely given Bethune Cookman that insurance run and set him up for another one. Trimble would have at least wound up at second base.
Note to Stacy Stevens, you might want to keep the ball down here. 2-2 for the 4th pitch in a row. There's a changeup. Up in the zone. 0-3. I like the idea there. They'll go same location but different speed, as she was ahead of the faster one, maybe way out in front of that one from this, but Trimble, discipline, does not swing, so the 3-2 swing and a miss on the outside corner. Big pitch. Stacy Stevens gets her 4th strikeout of the game, first since the 3rd inning. We've played 5.5 innings from the Florida Softball Complex. Gators looking to rally. They trail 2-1. You're listening to Florida Softball on AM 850 WRUF.
Does your employer offer direct deposit of your payroll that you can
Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget you return all foul balls to an SEC member. The ball can't be returned again. Your opportunity is
It's simple. It's easy. Insurance checking. Easy access to ATMs, payments, and maintenance charges.
also, don't forget to pick up your official 2005 NCAA softball merchandising program. It's all at the Fort Johnson Entertainment located right.
Let's get 2 and close it.
CCR rocking at the Florida Softball Complex. Hopefully, John Fogarty will get the Gator bats going. They trail 2-1 as we move to the bottom of the 6th inning. Mandy Sherman, Lauren Roussel, and Lacey Howard, your scheduled hitters. 2 runs on 5 hits and 2 errors for the Wildcats. 1 run on 5 hits and 2 errors for the Florida Gators. Lauren McCoy has gone the distance so far for the Bethune Cookman. She's back in the circle for the 6th inning. singled her first at bat. First pitch, a curveball, misses outside. Sherman hustling out that infield single back in the second inning. The 1-0 from McCoy. High strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. To the Gators senior. The only player on Florida's roster to have a home run in a regional game. 1-1, Sherman lays off, it misses out and up.
Lisa Hassan, Morellas Torres, Laura Templeton, Savannah Kelly, Erica Chesick, Michelle Diaz, Mary Ratliff, all available off the bench.
Wind up and the 2-1 pitch by McCoy. Sherman up the middle. Jackson's going to have it at short over the first. 6-3 putout. And the leadoff batter retired in the 6th inning.
The shortstop, number 29, Lauren Roussel.
In steps sophomore Lauren Roussel. Grounded to second base her last time up. She'll take a ball inside. Reached on a fielder's choice in the second and was stranded at third base. Gators have stranded 7 runners this far. 1-0 way outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Players on Bethune Cookman from California, 1 for Florida. That Lauren Roussel in the batter's box. There's a strike on the outer half. 2 balls and 1 strike to Roussel now. Lauren hails from Cerritos, California. Tall shortstop wears number 29. Changeup for a strike. Roussel thought that was low. Rory Bish didn't though. So it's 2-2 with 1 out. Wind up in the McCoy pitch. Roussel blasts this one down the left field line at the warning track. It is sucked up by Capri Williams. Thought she got a little bit more of that one, Brian, but it was off her hands a bit. Not on the sweet spot. And again, these Gators just missing pitches by that much, and they're not producing.
Well, DJ, the lack of offensive production continues. When you look at it, it's really against good pitching. Bethune Cookman's team ERA 1.36. They struggled against Emily Turner. They struggled against Monica Abbott. You go back to before that, during the losing streak, LSU, Auburn, all good pitching. Florida's offense has been absent.
Lacey Howard swings the first pitch. Jackson has it in the hole left side, and Lacey. Oh, it doesn't make the ball. Jackson showing a range and an arm. The Gators go 1, 2, 3 in the 6th. We head to the 7th. Florida trails by a run. You're going to see the Gator softball on the home of the Gators for over 75 years, WRUF.
May I help you? Yeah,
This one's over.
my sinus is feeling it could explode. Sudafed, aisle 5.
My allergies and my sinuses all stuffed up.
And Amber Jackson is quite bald.
What's that?
And Amber Jackson is quite bald.
Sinuses. Sudafed, aisle 5. Sinus misery? Get Sudafed. Nothing stronger at relieving even your worst sinus symptoms. Not even a prescription. This congestion. Sudafed. Prescription strength sinus relief. Based on 25 doses of pseudoephedrine.
Hi, I'm Pat Benatar, and I've spent a lot of days singing about matters of the heart. More women die of heart disease than all cancers combined. It's the number 1
Unbelievable.
killer of women. Learn the best way for a woman to find out if she has heart disease. Know the signs and the symptoms, if they can be different than a man's. Join me in the American College of Emergency Physicians in a new campaign called Take It to Heart. To find out more, visit www.acep.org. Let's make sure that heart disease isn't something that tears us apart.
Back at the Florida softball complex, DJ Driscoll alongside Brian Casey. Florida trails Bethune Cookman 2-1 in game 1. Actually, game 2 of this region. Game 1 for both of these teams. South Florida beating Central Florida 14-3 in game 1.
Still looking for that big hit for your offenses, and it hasn't come today. It didn't come in the SEC tournament.
Well, Stacy Stevens back in the circle for 7-8-9 in the Bethune Cookman order. Megan McGuire first up. She takes the strike on the inner half. McGuire so far today has popped up to second base and grounded to third. The 0-1 misses outside. Stevens ready. Here comes the 1-1. Grounded right back to her. She gloves, throws to first. And we'll get McGuire for out number 1 into 7. Melanie Johnson will step in now. She is strikeout victim number 2. In the second inning, Stevens does have 4 on the day. Johnson also popped foul to catcher Kristen Butler in the 4th. First pitch a strike. So Stevens has been impressive throughout the ball game. The only 2 tailies on the board for Bethune Cookman because of errors on the Florida defense. Lindsay Cameron throwing error and Stacy Pestrak throwing error, both advanced runners. That later scored. 1 in the first, 1 in the third. The 0-1 from Stevens misses outside.
Those are good people, and just throw in there, put in there HR, and then leave it blank. And if somebody hits the home run that ends up with the we'll bring a bottom out. Say, know your stuff.
1-1 to Johnson. She slaps this one to the left side. Pestrak tries to come up with it on the short hop, unable to field it. That's going to be Pestrak's second error. She had to run in a hurry with the speed of Johnson, who slapped that one into the hard infield and tried to field it on the short hop. I think Pestrak was trying to come in and field that before they hit the ground for a second time. Wasn't able to run off the heel of her glove. And Melanie Johnson is aboard with 1 out. Capri Williams will step in. She reached on Pestrak's first error of the ball game and scored in the 3rd, and is also grounded out to Stacy at 3rd. Infield looking at Coach Johns in the dugout to get the call. Outfield plays Williams shallow. Amber Jackson in the top of the order wait. And Johnson off with the pitch way too early. She's going to be called out. And a break there for the Florida Gators. Johnson, 43 of 44 on the year in stolen bases, got a little too anxious there, and that wasn't even close. She was about 2 steps off the bag before Stevens released that pitch. And that's a huge play because now Stacy might not have to face Amber Jackson in the top of the Bethune Cookman lineup. First pitch to Williams officially, then misses outside. Lauren Roussel coming in from shortstop. Couple of words of advice to her fellow sophomore, Stacy Stevens. Stacy a 4.0 this semester. A 1-0, slapped over Pestrak's head. Roussel tries to backhand it. It's going to go off her glove by the third base coaching box. Even if she would have fielded it, no play would have been at first base. It's the 6th hit for the Wildcats. And now you do have to face Amber Jackson again, who is 2 for 3 on the day. Stevens got her to pop out softly to Roussel at short on a nice changeup. Her last at-bat in the fifth. She singled in her first 2 at-bats, scored in the first. Stevens gets a strike 1 call on the outer half. A single in the first by Amber Jackson on an 0-2 count. Change up, Jackson lifts this one in right field. Norfleet going back off the glove, can't make the play. Shelly Stevens in right field now guns it into Roussel, and runners will be on the corners with 2 outs. Norfleet did get a glove on it, but full speed running. They're going to give a hit to Amber Jackson, her 3rd of the game. And trouble brewing in the 7th inning. A tough play by Norfleet. They're having to look directly into the sun as well, having to go straight back. I do think she made the right play by going for it. Didn't look like Shelly Stevens was going to be able to come in and make a sliding catch. And even if she could have, that's Shelly's responsibility to call Norfleet off.
Well, Shelly was playing deep for the left-handed pull hitter. Amber Jackson does have 13 home runs on the season, so it's a tough play right there, kind of in between. Norfleet almost made a great over-the-shoulder running catch, but again, you made a good point that if that's Stevens' ball, she's going to have to call off there. Luckily, they got the ball in quickly as Williams was off.
Well, Karen Johns in the circle, you got to just gather up your infield and Stacy Stevens right there and say, I mean, this is it right here. You're in the NCAAs right now. We need an out badly. There's 2 outs, runners on the corner. You do not want to give up another run and be chasing 2 going into the bottom of the 7th inning. 2-1 is your score.
You can't afford to right now. Florida's, it's hard enough to come by 1 run now. And if you go down 3-1 here, you're chasing 2. The way the offense has been lately, that's the equivalent of being down by 5.
Tiffany Bowser laid down a sacrifice bunt in the 1st inning, struck out in the 3rd, and grounded to Roussel in the 5th inning. Bowser grounds it to Zick. It gets past the glove of Zick into right field. Shelly Stevens up with it, but that's going to bring home a run on the RBI single by Tiffany Bowser. Amber Jackson will hold at 2nd base. And Bowser now, her 3rd hit of the season against the Gators, 2nd run batted in. Mandy Sherman will take the circle as Stacy Stevens gets a nice round of applause from the crowd. She leaves having gone 6 2/3 innings, giving up 3 runs.
DJ, that last one, you could almost make a case here. Granted, Zick didn't get a glove on it, but you could almost make a case going here on that one as well. The ball's not hit very hard. Zick attempted to backhand it. It's a situation where if Melissa Zick could do it again, I think she would try to square up and get in front of that and prevent it from going to right field.
And again, the sun may be at issue. That ball very tough to pick up the bat when you're on the right side of the field now. Sherman taking her warm-up tosses. The 2 runners on. Still Stevens' responsibility. We'll check, not sure if 1 or 2 of the Bethune Cookman runs are earned. Definitely unearned. Struck out in her 3 at-bats. Sherman's first pitch misses upstairs. Butler has some problems handling that, but the runners won't be able to advance as the ball fell right in front of her. Now misses upstairs. So 2 quick balls thrown by Mandy Sherman. Sherman gets the sign from Butler. Swung on and missed.
To be honest with you, DJ, I'm surprised the way Thomas swung at that pitch as Sherman. That pitch looked like it was out of the zone low and away. Sherman's all over the place early on.
Fresh pitcher coming in, throwing 2 balls. I don't think I offer that either. Either way, the 2-1's going to be fouled towards the Gator dugout. So it'll be 2-2 now. Gators 23rd coming in the nation. 18 is their RPI. They trail 3-1 in the top of the 7th. Sherman misses a way out with that one. That'll fill the count up at 3-2. Thomas calls time. Big pitch right here. Cookman already pushing 1 across here in the 7th. There's 2 outs. Runners on first and second. They lead 3-1. 3-2 pitch to Hopper to Roussel at short. She's up with it over to first. It has it. That will retire the side, but the insurance run crosses the plate. Bethune Cookman leads 3-1 as we head to the bottom of the 7th. The Gators needing to rally. You're listening to Florida Softball on AM 850 WRUF.
I tell you, look at the job that McCoy's done inside the circle today on the 18 outset. Bethune Cookman has recorded so far 12 of those coming on ground balls. Only 3 of those in the air. 3 strikeouts.
Ratliff 256 on the year. She's driven in 5. Fly just went the opposite way off the glove. Up Timber at third base. And maybe, just maybe, we'll see if that's a hit or not. They rolled a hit as it was sharply hit. Maybe that was the break that the Gators need. Lindsay Norfleet will re-enter the run for Ratliff.
A big at bat here for Jennifer Michelle Diaz. She can get aboard. We know Stevens is a pretty good punter. She can get him down. You have the tying run in scoring position for Lindsay Cameron. Diaz has been.
She has 2 for 5 with 2 runs batted in her career versus Bethune Cookman. Here's the first McCoy offering. It's a strike on the other hand. Terry Deaver was always disgusted with that call by Lori Bish. So Diaz down, no balls and a strike. She was 0 for 2 in this year's meeting between the 2 clubs. And strike 2 on the other hand. So Diaz in a very quick and big hole. No balls and 2 strikes. Michelle is a sophomore, is a member of the All-SEC freshman team last year. The 0-2 from McCoy, it's on its way. Diaz lays off, but that one is definitely outside, so it'll be 1 ball and 2 strikes. Michelle 5 for the last 18. Has been hitting the ball pretty well of late. See if she can work some magic here in the 7th. Swings and misses. It's a backward strike. But Norfolk Diaz stopping them. Gets to first base. But since the base was occupied, she can't go there. But Norfolk will get to second base on the pass ball. So 1 out. Diaz strikeout. Norfolk at second. Time will be called by Laura Watton. See if she stays with McCoy or if we will get a pitching change. Pass works to Norfolk. It's going to be Shelly Stevens at the plate. Lindsay Cameron is on deck. So far today, Shelly has grounded to second and bounced into a 5 unassisted fielder's choice. McCoy still in there. First offering to Shelly. It's slapped to the right side at second base. Shelly hustling. She's safe. The ball is dropped there. First Wolfman's around third. She's going to score. Slides in safely, and Shelly's going to get all the way to second base on the play. nice heads up running by Lindsay Norfleet. She gets home. Shelly Stevens will get to second base, and now there's one out, and all of a sudden the tying run is in scoring position. 3-2. Florida trails by just one run, and their best hitter, Lindsay Cameron, is stepping to the plate. Melissa Zick on deck. Cameron flied out to right field. That she hit off the end of the bat in the 5th inning. Grounded to second and hit into a 6-4-3 double play in the 1st inning.
Over shortstop, just pick you up.
McCoy's ready, the first pitch. Low, ball 1. McCoy's ready. The 1-0 delivery. Cameron swings, top the end of the bat. Amber Jackson's going to have it in left field. Shelly Stevens has to slide back to second on a close play. The ball gets away from Bowser. And Amber Jackson, as advertised, what a player she is at shortstop. Showing her range, running that ball down in shallow left field by the left field line. Looks like Shelly Stevens didn't think she'd be able to get to that ball. She did, and Stevens was halfway in between second and third. Had to hustle back to second.
And it looked like they were going to double her off. Had Tiffany Bowser come up with the ball cleanly. And now there's 2 outs.
Zick did get a 2-out RBI single in the 1st inning. First pitch misses low and outside. She drove in Stacy Pestrak. She's also grounded to short and singled in the 5th. So a 2-for-3 ball game with 1 run batted in from Melissa Zick. We'll see if she can come up again and get a little base knock. Shelly does have good speed at second. Zick lays off that one. It's low and outside again. 2 balls and no strikes to the sophomore. Kristen Butler, your batter on deck. McCoy's ready to wind up the 2-0. Inside, hits the corner for a strike. Very liberal inside corner. 2-1. McCoy's ready, so is Zick. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 3-2 your score. Bethune Cookman leads. Shelly Stevens a runner on second base. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Florida down to their last strike in their first game of this NCAA regional. Crowd getting into it. Here's the pitch. McCoy delivers 2-2, swing on, and Melissa Zick strikes out. Bethune Cookman has defeated the Florida Gators for the 2nd time this year. They will advance to play South Florida tomorrow at 1 o'clock. The Florida Gators will go to the losers bracket. They meet Central Florida at 3:30 p.m. tomorrow. Your final score, 3-2. Bethune Cookman, 3 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors. The Gators, 2 runs on 7 hits and 3 errors. Florida threatens Bryan in the 7th, but can't get time to run across.
Well, DJ, we mentioned it, Florida did put another run across the board here in the 7th inning, but still not a big hit. They scored that on the courtesy of there by Andrea Thomas over at first base. So the run really continues for Florida. Their offense still really missing out on some of these bigger games here in the SEC tournament. And so far in the NCAA Division I Softball Championship Regional here at the Gator Softball Complex, it's really disappointing because you waste a pretty good effort by Stacy Stevens here in the circle.
Absolutely. Stacy goes 6 2/3 innings. Mandy Sherman came in, got the out she needed, but just not enough offense on this day for the Florida Gators. With Shelly Stevens being left on base there in the 7th, they leave a total of 8 runners in this ball game, and that combined with the 3 errors, all directly resulting in Bethune-Cookman runs.
And they did, DJ, and that's the one thing that we said that was one of the keys to the game was the 2. Well, let's look at our 2 keys that we came up with: jumping up early
Nope.
and errors.
They had to battle back after giving up the run in the first.
They had to battle back, and then they gave up a run in the third. And again, the errors are the reason they had to battle back. They gave up a run in the first. That came with help. They gave up a run in the third. That came with help. So Florida just not getting it done defensively. And when your offense is not going to bail you out at home plate like Florida's offense